Well, howdy. Welcome to the Double M Farm. I have been getting, I don't know how many requests and questions about the farm pond. When are you going to get back to working on the farm pond? Well, I have been working on the farm pond, but I realize it's been a long time since I've said anything about it. So I figured I'd give you a quick update. Dumpy there and I have been building fence. We've had so much rain that I just haven't been able to get a lot done until last week. So this is my old property line going all the way up about 700 feet to the road up there, the gravel road. And this is the old property line. My new property line is about 60, 70 feet over. So this fence will be coming out now. And all of that thicket is where we'll be cleaning and digging for the pond. But before I do that, I've got to get the new fence up. So what I did is I cut out a section of my existing fence and just temporarily fastened a gate here to give me access to the new part. So we'll step through the gate. Got a little bridge so I can drive Dumpy and the tractor across the ditch. Set it because the goats will try to follow us. And I've got the new fence up pretty much 90%. And attaching it there to the existing fence and running along the creek, and there's the new property corner, and then it goes up through the woods back up to the gravel highway. You can see that is the spring. That's the water coming from the spring. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but that's what will be filling our pond. That thing runs like that 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's so shaded you may not be able to see it down there how it's running, but it's a lot of water. So we'll walk over here and I'll show you. I got to thinking, I said, you know, I can get this fence put up, no big deal. I fenced everything else on this property. Well, this thing's damn near killed me. And I got to wondering why, and then I realized when I fenced in the first part of the farm, that was 15 years ago, and I was about 52. Well, now I'm 67. We'll be 68 this year. And that's why it's damn near killed me putting this new fence up. But there she is, going up through the woods there. I don't know how well that shows up. It's about a 700-foot haul to the gravel road up front. And I pulled it right by myself. I put a boom on the tractor and hung the field fence, the red brand field fence, from the boom. And I pulled the tractor in here, had the boom and the wire hanging outside here, and just grabbed it and started walking. And I walked about halfway. I've got a good bracing, 3 posts, and bracing on those 3 posts about halfway. So I pulled the wire from here to there, winched it tight, put it up, put in the T-posts, and then went around to the front on the gravel road up at the front and repeated the process. Let the wire hang, pulled it back this way to that midway point, winched it tight, nailed it up, and I have got her banjo tight. Still got to put some more T-posts. I'm trying not to buy too many T-posts because I'll be tearing out the old fence and I'll bring those T-posts over. So for now, I'm putting just enough T-posts to get the fence up and straight and tight so I can run a hot wire on the top and feel safe to start tearing down the existing old fence at the old property line. So that's what we'll do. And I'll show you as we walk the fence here, if I can walk without tripping over something. I walk this thing with chainsaws and cut in between rain showers. And here, you'll see, look at that. There's a spring right over there that just oozes up out of the ground. So when I start digging out, I'm going to start farther up towards the front and dig my way this way. And as I'm doing that, I'll be loading Dumpy and bringing the dirt around here and building this up so that the water won't sit here and seep. Because eventually I want it clean to where I can drive the tractor or Dumpy along the fence line around the entire perimeter of the property. That's the long range goal. If you're wondering about the strings and the flags, we got a ton of deer that walk through here. And being a brand new fence, I didn't want the deer to come running through here and running into the fence and breaking their neck. I've had that happen before. I actually put a big doe in the freezer one year that I heard her coming through the woods, and she ran right into the field fence. And when I got to, the whole fence shook. I went running over there. When I got to her, her head was through the wire and her neck was broke. She had run right into the fence and broke her neck. So it was some nice meat. I hated it for the poor young doe. Wasn't even the right time of year. It was springtime, but I wasn't going to let it go to waste, so I put it in the freezer. So that's why I've got all the flagging on the fence, to try to at least slow them down a little till they learn it's there. I'll be running a hot wire on the top of it. Got dips, and you can see I filled them in with extra wire, and I'll be coming back and throwing dirt in there to build that up. But that'll keep predators out until I get that done. So now I can come here. I've got to make this, I made this bridge too short for Dumpy. The tractor's fine, but the bridge is so short that when Dumpy goes over it, his front wheels go up, and his front wheels go down, and his back wheels are still here, and his belly drags. You can see a skint place right there where the differential hit. So what I'm going to have to do is take these two boards off and extend it, make it longer by 2 or 3 more feet, so that one end won't drop off until the other end gets up on the bridge. That way he won't drag his belly. So there, that gives you an idea of the amount of water that's coming out of the mainspring. And again, all of this fence now will be coming out. And everything you see there will be cleaned, bush hogged, and dug out, and will be a pond. Look at that. Look at the amount of water that is gushing out of that spring. And like I say, it runs like that all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it's in a ditch there, so all I got to do basically is dig the ditch out wider and deeper, and I've got a pond. Got a lot of trees to cut, but nothing big. The goats will clean it out for me. And once this fence here is gone, I'll be using all these T-posts over, adding them to what's over there on the new fence. And right here is where we'll start digging. We'll start digging the pond out right here. And just, you can see, hopefully you can see on camera, there's that middle section I was talking about that I pulled the wire to from each end over there. So that's how far over the new fence is. So the pond will go from about 10, 12 feet on this side of that fence. I'm going to leave enough room to drive the fence all the way over to right here. So I'll be digging from here over to within about 10 feet of that fence over there through the woods, and then all the way back. And that will be our pond. And we're going to be doing it with the Harbor Freight trencher and Dumpy, the little Suzuki carry backhoe. So I realized it had been such a long time since I had given an update, and I know this is probably a boring update, so I'll shut up. Nobody likes to watch a long, boring video. Here's another spring that I pump water out of. I dug this with the Harbor Freight trencher backhoe. I want you to look at that water. That's 4 foot deep and crystal clear. It comes up right there. I can cut, I've got a pump there, I can cut it on. And the pump, it's a 2 horsepower pump, and it can't pump the hole dry. The water comes out just as fast as the pump. It'll drop it about a foot, and then it starts keeping up with it. So that's the kind of water we got coming out of the ground here. And you see how clear and pretty it is. Plenty drinkable. I'll be capping this burying a tank here and trying to cap this off to use for clean drinking water once I get it covered so I can keep the bugs and frogs out of it. But from right there all the way back to where we just walked from is going to be the spring pond, farm pond, spring-fed farm pond, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. I hope that answers a lot of the questions I've been getting for the past month about what's happening with the pond. Is everything still on schedule? Well, it got off schedule. We had a problem with the buying of it. It turned out that the seller had inherited this property from their father, but had never changed the name. So they had to go through all the legal process of getting it in their name before they could legally sell it. So that took an extra month or so. And then just as we got that done, the winter weather hit with rain. We're in South Carolina, right at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Georgia's right there and North Carolina's right there, just as the crow flies, about 5 miles or less. And so it has been so wet that there was just no way to get in there and do anything. But as you can see, progress is being made. And hopefully next week I will be, this is a Sunday as I film this, so hopefully next week I will be finished. All I've got to do is reinforce some places over there on the new fence with a couple more T-posts and a couple more dips. I've got to put wire. I'm going to take some cattle panel wire and cut to fit with a couple of T-posts to fill in the ditch there where it goes under the fence. So I'll do that, fill in a couple of low spots over on the new fence, and then I'll start tearing this fence down. And I won't bore you with a lot of videos of that. Everyone knows how to tear down a fence. So that's why I didn't bore you with that. Everyone knows how to put up a fence, I'm sure. But Dumpy and I and our little Harbor Freight 3500 winch there, we did it all. I'm 67. Dumpy's a 1994. So the only thing new here is the winch. Everything else is old, but we've gotten it done. And we're ready to start digging, and we will be digging real soon. So I appreciate you visiting us here on this little short trip around the farm. And come back to see us again real soon.